Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel College Process. Once again, I'm Ed from Principia Prep, and today we're going to be going over how college refunds are created and what to do with the refund money. But before we begin, if you are new to the channel and are looking for additional college content, please hit the subscription button down below. It will notify you when new videos do come out. Also, if you have any questions, obviously many of you guys know, whether it's a question on this video or any video we have here in the series on the channel here, put your questions down below in the comment section. Every Friday going forward, I go on Friday, I check out all the questions you guys have, make detailed answers to all the questions you guys are asking here on all the videos here about the college process. Put that detailed answer back on YouTube in video format, so that way everyone has answers to all the questions you guys are asking out there. Also, we're still running the James Lewis Memorial Scholarship, so if you want information about our organization's scholarship program, very simple, down below in the description is the information, is the link for the James Lewis Memorial Scholarship. You can watch that video explaining how our scholarship program works here at Principia. Also down below in the description is also our organization's Venmo, as well as our Buy Us a Coffee, if you want to help support the channel, allowing us to keep making these college videos for you guys out there. And all that being said, let's jump right into today's video, how college refunds are created and what to do with the refund money. Now, right off the bat, many of you have already started the semester and the bill's been paid and the loans have gone through and everything else, and your students going to class and so on and so forth. And you guys have started receiving refund checks coming in the mail, and you're wondering, why did we get a refund? How was this generated? Now, when it comes to refunds from the colleges, it typically happens for one of two reasons. There is a third reason, which I'll talk about in a moment, but really the first two reasons are the main reasons that any student is basically given a refund check for the semester they're in, typically about a month and a half into that semester. The first reason your student got a refund was because of the fact they got more financial aid assistance on the gift aid side than they were expecting or needed to help cover the bill. And let me basically explain how this works. Let's just say that the school cost, all things, all included, $20,000. And your student was given at that university, let's say, a $20,000 scholarship. So right now, their scholarship basically covers all financial aid necessary for the student to cover all their billing. But then out of nowhere, your student went out and got, let's say, a private scholarship, an outside scholarship, which then put them over, basically making them getting a refund check. Or this happened because the student got a lot of extra grant money. The student maybe got some federal aid through a Pell Grant, or SEOG, Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant. Any amount there is basically going to be putting them over, obviously creating a refund. Or maybe they got state aid from the state you're from. So if they got state aid, that extra state aid would then push them over into a refund situation, as well as the school provided any institutional grant money, which is very unlikely due to the fact that since the school controls both the scholarship money and the grant money, it's very unlikely they would generate their own refund to give the students. So that's the first reason you guys are getting a refund, is you're basically getting more gift aid, more scholarship money or grant money from any of these sources that's over their direct costs, which is obviously their tuition, room and board, direct fees to them, so on and so forth. Now, if this is the reason you guys are getting a refund based on the fact you have more free money, more gift aid, scholarships and grants, then really with this refund you can do whatever you want, because of the fact you don't have to pay it back to anyone. So you can basically use it for, let's say, the books, buying a laptop, maybe additional housing expenses, etc. You can use it basically for anything you want. Now, with the first one out of the way, let's talk about the second reason you guys would be getting a refund, the more common reason why. This is usually based on the fact you guys have student loans of some kind. Either you guys took out federal loans, state loans, or private loans, whether it be Parent Plus loans, whether it be Sallie Mae, Citizens, Discover, whatever loan you guys took out. These loan funds, if you did allow for the loan to be higher than the amount you needed, would generate a refund. So using basically the same example, let's say the school cost $20,000. And let's say that your student had scholarship money of, let's say, $15,000. So there's a $5,000 left over that we need to help cover, either ourselves out of pocket or through a loan or a payment plan. We basically need to cover that $5,000. Now, that being said, let's say we took out a loan for $10,000. And the school basically said, okay, we're going to take our $5,000 from this. Now you're totally covered with us. And then that extra $5,000, we're going to refund it back to you. That refund there is not free money. That refund there is generated on the fact that you guys took out extra loan money that you needed to help cover the expenses of the college. And then of course, outside expenses. Maybe you took out more money for the books, maybe off-campus housing, maybe you wanted a laptop. All these different factors, whatever they are, after you paid the money to the school, whatever's left over, that refund generated to your student is technically additional loan money you will pay back later on, depending obviously on the terms of the loans you guys took out. So for the second consideration of generating, let's call it a refund, you need to be looking at it from a different perspective than the free money from the scenario number one. Do we want to use this money for something now? Obviously the books, housing, laptop, etc. Or do we want to send the money back because this is obviously a loan we're going to have to pay back at some point in time? Now, for this scenario, the way I look at it is this. If we're a first-year student, or maybe a second-year student, and we're not sure kind of how we feel about the financial situation, do we feel like we're covered? Do we not feel like we're covered? So on and so forth. I look at it as keep it for a month or two. Kind of gauge the scenario of the semester. Are there any additional expenses popping up we didn't know about? Or maybe we hold on to this as well because of the fact that our student moved off campus and we have additional fees involved that we didn't realize at the time. Maybe internet fees, maybe cable fees, maybe we had to pay for the gas or the electric. So it's good to have that money on the sidelines just in case. But of course, if you don't need that money, let's say we're a month or two into this and we just had that money just sitting there, I would basically write a check back to the lender and send back whatever money we don't need. Now, typically it depends on the family situation, but having there for a month or two is perfectly fine at that point in time. You kind of have an idea of whether we need this money or not going forward. Also, once you send the money back, the benefit is it automatically drops your loan down by that amount for the principal. So it does erase a lot of the student loan debt. And obviously, if you watch a lot of my videos here, I am a proponent of using student loans responsibly. Yes, college does require for many of you out there that student loans are taken out. It's just the nature of the beast that we're in nowadays with the cost of college. But it doesn't mean you go crazy and start taking as much debt as you want, basically increasing the debt on yourself, which then later has to be paid off at some point in time. And now the third reason a loan is generated is typically one that kind of confuses families a lot. And this is why it happens. The way the world of financial aid works is different funds come in at different times. Now, if your student's getting a scholarship, that money is already up front. They see it immediately, the student deposits to college and saying we're going there. Once the bill is created, that scholarship's showing up on the bill, deducting that cost from the bill from us. When it comes to loans, it's a little bit different. What happens is loan funds at a college show up on the student's account basically a day or two after you apply for the loan and get approved. So they see the loans coming in. However, the loans don't come in until basically a month and a half, 2 months after the student has started the school. That's when generating of refunds happen, sometimes surprises students and parents, when the loan funds come in later on. So if you're basically sitting there 2 months in the semester and out of nowhere you get a refund check, very likely that refund check, that third situation here, is technically happening as basically a delay of the second situation where you guys are getting a refund based on the fact that you guys took out student loans. Look to basically figure out over the month or two of that semester, do we need the funds? If we don't, send them back. Now there's a few ways of sending back the refund check, by the way, too. When it comes back to sending back the refund check, you can send back the refund check going online and just paying for it online directly. Or you can also, before the refund is even generated, believe it or not, send those funds back to the lender. If you already know you're going to be creating a refund check based on the amount of loan funds you have coming in, and you know you don't need that extra amount, you can contact the school's financial aid office and their billing office. I contact both of them. Let both of them know if there's a refund generated, send those refunds back directly to the lender. So that way they'll take the exact amount you need from that loan, apply it to tuition, room, board, etc. fees they require at that school, and then send back every other cent back to the lender. Now, if you don't need the funds, you know you don't need them at all, do this because it's the easiest way to get this kind of accomplished. Now, of course, there are some of you out there is a scenario where you guys are looking for the refund to help pay for housing. Now, obviously, you can utilize a student loan, believe it or not, for either on-campus housing or off-campus housing. You can use it for either one. So if the refund check is being generated for housing, what I typically like to do is I'm keeping both those checks until basically midsummer and I'm figuring out, do I want to keep this refund check to help pay for the fall semester starting off point because that refund check's not going to be coming in immediately once I start? Or do I feel comfortable, we don't need this refund check, then I'm sending it in? You have to realize, scenario number one, you can keep the money, do whatever you want. It's a refund that's free money, you don't have to do anything about it. But obviously this is rare. Scenario number 2 and 3 technically are the ones that are dealing with the loan stuff. With this, you have to realize you're dealing with a loan company, you're dealing with interest growing on itself. Your goal throughout the whole college process for every student and parent watching is to minimize the amount of debt you guys have. That's really the goal here. Get the student in and out of college with the minimum amount of debt, minimum amount of time. That way you're not burdened with that debt later on because obviously the loan companies are charging interest. Now, all that being said, if you guys have any questions on any of these videos or this video here today, once again, every Friday going forward, I will be making a video answering all the questions you guys leave here on the YouTube channel. So any questions you guys have, leave them down below in the comment section. I'll answer your question, put it back here on video format, so then everyone has their answers every Friday going forward. And other than that, on the screen here, you see my contact information. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, if you need help in the financial aid process or the admissions process, really anything college related, feel free to text me. I do sit down with parents on a one-on-one basis. And of course, text message is the fastest way to reach me. And other than that, thank you for watching today's video. Once again, my name is Ed from Principia Prep.